my god, this is amazing, awesome, the launch incredible dosto, pleasantly surprising. As some YouTubers jizz in their pants over the stupidest of product launches, I want to do something else. You know how as YouTubers we talk a lot about the latest launches, and these launches these days, they've become so damn formulaic. You know, you've got a spec change here, a spec change there, a rebrand, 500 rupee price difference. It's all so incremental. It just feels so mundane. Now, one advantage of new launches becoming so incremental and mundane is that some old devices, be it phones or game consoles or anything else for that matter, they just become very good value. Hunting for old stuff to buy used, that's almost an addiction. And I've been feeding my addiction so far. I've bought a lot of things used, and I feel these are some of the best used deals you can get under $150. And I'm not going to be talking about stuff that launched in the last few years. I'm going to go real back. So this is real retro stuff, at least 6, 7, 8 years, 8-year-old stuff. So what is still a good deal in 2021 with a rough budget of $150 US? What is it that you can get yourself? Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech, and if you like this video, like this video. Yeah, that's it. So let's start with some gaming stuff. Game consoles, they are very weird things. The prices on these drop, they hit rock bottom, and then when scarcity sets in, the whole supply and demand thing, when collectors are the only ones trying to buy it, the price shoots back up. Now there are two devices at the moment which are at rock bottom with their prices, and this I would say is the best time to buy them. First, the Nintendo 3DS. Now why should somebody buy this over a Switch? The simple answer, the honest answer is that it's easier to hack, put custom firmware on, and if you want to do the whole Jack Sparrow pirate thing, then you can do that. You can pirate the crap out of this. If you don't want to pirate it, you can still run emulators and play your legally owned games and all that. It's got one of the largest game libraries ever, and the 3D part of the 3DS, it's really unique. And even by today's standards now, the whole holographic display, 3D display, Red failed, Amazon failed, but Nintendo has actually done an excellent job. Ergonomically, battery-wise, it's amazing. And once you take into account Nintendo's extensive back catalog of DS and other Game Boy titles, you're opening yourself up to a world of options. The 3DS, this is the best time to get one. And if you are looking to get one, do ensure you get the new 3DS XL. That's the 2015 hardware revision. It's easy to identify because the new one is the one that has this kind of C-stick, a kind of sort of second analog. It also has beefier specs. That's the more important part. While all 3DS games, they will run on either SKU, the new 3DS and new 3DS XL will give you smoother performance and better emulation performance, or so I'm told, because I've never used an old 3DS. Talking about 3DS, personally I thought, the smaller screen, same resolution, it should give us a better pixel density, it should look better, but I ended up finding it very small. Now, I had both the regular 3DS and the XL. I ended up almost never using the regular 3DS. For these hands, they just felt too small, so your mileage may vary. Just think about that. Give that a consideration before you choose to buy one if you do choose to. Now, on the same note, in fact, on the right opposite note, we get to the PSP Go. Now, the reasons for getting it are very similar to what I've been talking about with the 3DS. Well, the PSP Go doesn't have as extensive a catalog as the 3DS. It is the smallest form factor PSP, meaning, like I said, it's the opposite of everything I was talking about. But then it's got this satisfying snap. I just love this so much. It's beautiful. All the retro gaming options, custom firmware opens up on this. It's really nice. Now, from a AAA perspective, it's got the likes of, it got a couple of God of War games. It got a lot of exclusives. Even by today's standards, it looks and plays nice. And once you put custom firmware on it, you can actually clock it higher. So things get a little smoother than they were supposed to. Overall, I really love this form factor, and I feel the PSP Go is something you could buy today. Now, before we jump into another console, let's take a look at a few smartphones. Of course, by no means is this an exhaustive list of used phones that you could buy. As I mentioned, I'm trying to keep this 5 years, at least 5 years old and more, because I don't want this list to be full of Poco, Samsungs, OnePluses, which is what it would have been if I were talking about phones from 2018 to 2020. Now, the first phone on my list, totally unexpected, or expected if that video went live, I don't know. Optimus View 3. Now this is impressive enough that I actually have a dedicated video on it, and reasons why I like it, reasons why I feel this is a good phone to buy used. I'll leave a card to that video where I discuss all that in detail. Now, next on the list is the freaking iPhone 5s. Yes, a stupid freaking iPhone 5s. You can find these for as low as $50. I bought mine for something around that. It's still reasonably smooth and fluid. Yes, it's locked on to iOS 12.4 forever, but for at least the next year or two, you can still get a decent enough iOS experience. Now, keep in mind, this is a phone from 2013, and compared to 2013's Android flagship, and by Android, I mean Samsung, this has aged oh so beautifully. And at $3,500, why are we still even talking about it? Now, after these two phones, it's time to return back to gaming with the PS Vita. Now, the Vita will go down in history as one of Sony's biggest ever gaming flops. It was just so damn ill-timed, and I personally feel Sony gave up on it way too soon. It did not get its own God of War. Sony's staple, they didn't bother giving it a God of War, they just gave it the God of War collection. Basically, God of War 1 and 2 from PS2 were ported onto it. Now, basically what happened was Sony felt smartphones were evolving so fast that Vita just did not have a market. They thought handhelds aren't going to be a thing anymore, and man, were they wrong. Nintendo proved that with the Switch, right? Now, talking about the Switch, here's a fun fact that a lot of people don't know, or you probably know if you've seen my other video on it. I'm confused on the timeline of which video is going to go when. So, any which ways, the dock concept, you know, where you plug in and you can see your handheld console on the TV, which has been basically what the Nintendo Switch has been all about. That started with the PSP Go. Sony actually sold a dedicated dock for the PSP Go with video out and all that. And it is a ripoff to buy today. I wouldn't suggest anybody to buy it because it's got the whole collector thing going on now, so the prices have shot back up. But they marketed it so poorly that most of us don't even know that exists, right? And BT Dub, this is something they continued on with the Vita. This is the Vita 1000, this is the 2000. The 1000 has an OLED screen. I kind of like the 1000 more. Now with the Vita, they actually have this entire port here that just is mentioned as an accessory port. Rumors are, or at least testing has proven that this has both data and video output, can also charge. So this was actually supposed to probably plug into a dock of some kind. But again, Sony just gave up on the Vita all too soon. Now, all that said, the Vita still has games that look and play amazing. These aren't microtransaction filled crap. They are full-fledged games. There are some AAA gems on it like Uncharted, Killzone, and the Vita can do full-fledged emulation of the PSP, including the PSP's XMB interface. So at about $150 US, it's a hell of a thing to buy used. Next up, back to the Android side of things, the Sony Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact, or the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2 8.0. Why these two? You can find used ones, used versions of these for about $150 US, and both of them offer large screens at 270 and 265 grams respectively, making them the lightest 8-inch tablets around. Now, these are lighter than, say, a Mi Mix Fold, and for the price that a Mi Mix Fold sells for, you buy one of these and buy a regular Snapdragon 888 phone, you still save a load of money, right? And the experience on this is really good if you just want to say read a book or something. Now, to give you some perspective, forget the Mi Mix Fold. An iPhone 12 Pro Max or a ROG Phone 5, they weigh around 230, 240 grams, right? And with the case on, they're gonna weigh exactly the same. When you buy something like this used, you don't need to put a case on it. Hey, it's used, you use it, you throw it, it's like $100. You can always sell it off used for like $50, $60, $70. You're taking a very minuscule hit on it. But scratch an iPhone or a ROG phone's display, replacements, you're gonna die. It is so expensive, right? So anyways, if you are somebody interested in reading comics, then this is probably paired with a Marvel Unlimited subscription. These are the best experiences you're gonna get. Now the Tab S2 has an edge. It's got Snapdragon 652, a little bit beefier than the 801 on the Xperia. It also runs on Android Nougat, Android 7 instead of Android 6. And it's got a higher resolution AMOLED display. But still, this is stockish. So if you're somebody who likes Sony, you could probably think about it. Despite me not being a fan of TouchWiz, I still find the Galaxy Tab S2 to be better value. It's not just that. Samsung generally has a higher adoption than Sony, so from a ROM perspective, from rooting it, from unlocking the bootloader and flashing a custom ROM, this has more options. As of now, I have it running, as you can see, on Android 9 Pie. This is perfectly functioning Android 9 Pie. Again, the fact that it can run perfectly functioning Android 9 Pie while the brand stopped at Android 7. Now that perfectly ties into my planned obsolescence concept. That's a video I'm working on. I will have that pretty soon. Any which ways, guys, if you want to save a few more bucks, then you could consider a Galaxy Tab S2, the previous version. This is the T719, if I can recall. There is an Exynos variant, an Exynos 5433 variant that got updated only till Android 6, so no Android 7 on that. And the Exynos chip theoretically performs about as well as the 801 on the Xperia. So for comics and reading books, the high resolution display, the AMOLED panel, that should be a great deal. Now, before we wrap, a bonus tip: if you're an audiophile, do not, and I repeat, do not buy anything new. Everything is usually available for 50% or less when you buy used, because audiophiles are generally not normal people. And by that, I mean they baby their equipment so much, like having a dry cabinet for equipment. Okay, I'm not normal. I'm talking about myself. We are weird people. But the fact is, almost anything you buy that's niche audiophile stuff, it probably is not going to fit in that $150 budget, which is why it is a bonus tip here. You get stuff that's usually in almost pristine condition. Pretty much every IEM that I own, every super expensive IEM that I own, I've bought it used, and I've bought it at a fraction of the actual selling price. And anyways, guys, I think I should stop. The video is getting quite long in the tooth. So these are some of the things I've bought used in recent times, and they've been extremely good. I've had a lot of fun playing around with them, but that doesn't mean everything I bought turned out great. There are some duds that I had to go through before I managed to finalize the list on this video. So those are things we'll talk about in future videos. For now, like I said, buying stuff used, hunting for awesome used stuff is pretty addictive. So if you can think of anything else in this segment, anything else that's old that you think is pretty good to buy, feed my addiction. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to get my hands on them as well. So I guess that's pretty much it. Wanted to do, as I've been saying, a unique video, something different. And I feel this video, if nothing, was different. If you want to see more videos like this, please motivate me to do it. Motivation has been pretty difficult recently. So go ahead, just drop a comment. I'm not going to ask you to like, subscribe, bell icon and all that. Just drop a comment. Because generally, it's who comment, right? So if you find something that you appreciate, not just with me, with any channel where you're watching a video on, if you think the creator's done a good job, go ahead, leave a comment. And I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Until next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.